Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon. This is Dustin from Laptop Factory. It's been 2 weeks na hindi kami nakapag-upload ng video. And as you notice, iba na yung background namin ngayon. May nakasulat dito na grains or little ones. Because during this ECQ, sarado yung office kung saan kami nag-shoot. So we're thankful for the grains na nakapag-shoot kami dito. And you would notice, I'm using a different table and there's also a laptop stand here. If you want to know more about the details about grains, I'll send the link below para mapuntahan nyo yung page nila. So this video is about tips on buying laptop, what to buy, or yung mga guide kung ano bibili na laptop. Because alam niyo naman nangyari tong COVID na to, we're twice na lockdown. Yung sa last year and then today. Now, most companies nag-work from home and others online schooling. That's why the computers or the laptops tumaas ang demand. But the question is, what is the best laptop na para sa atin? Is this a laptop ideal? Mapapagastos ba tayo dito? Or ito ba yung recommended na laptop sa amin? Kasi ang daming nagchat-chat sa amin, Sir, ano po ba ang masasuggest yung laptop sa amin? Sir, ano po ba ang magandang gamitin na laptop? Sir, ito po yung application na gagamitin naming laptop. Now, this video will answer your questions. Guys, this is not for advanced viewers. This is actually for the beginners, yung mga first time na bibili ng laptop, yung mga medyo onti pa lang ang knowledge about the laptop. So, if you are advanced user of laptop, feel free to comment below. Type in your suggestion. And speaking about comment, please like and subscribe our page for new updates. Maraming salamat po. Okay, now, about a laptop, marami kasing specifications sa laptop. Meron tinatawag na processor, yung mga memories, yung HDD or SDD, yung mga video card. Ano ba ang dapat na laptop na para sa atin? Kailangan ko ba ng i3? Kailangan ko ba ng i7? Kailangan ko ba ng gaming laptop? Or kailangan ko lang ng affordable laptop? Now, hihimay-himayin natin yan. Let's start with the operating system. Now, every laptop has its operating system o yung parang yung software. Katulad sa cellphone, meron tinatawag na Android, meron tinatawag na iOS. Ganun din sa laptop. It comes with a Windows, Mac OS, or Ubuntu Linux, and yung Chrome OS. Now, let's talk about the Mac OS. Mac OS is mostly used by photo editors and video editors because of its feature. Meron siyang tinatawag na Retina display. And it's a friendly user. Madali siyang gamitin. Kaya mas onti ang virus na tatanggap ng Mac because it's so basic, ganyan. It performs longer battery life compared to normal laptops. But the problem about Mac is mas mahal siya compared sa mga ibang computers. We also have the Windows OS o yung commonly na ginagamit ng mga Pilipino, which is the Windows or Windows 10. Bakit? Kasi maraming variety ang Windows 10. Meron tayong tinatawag na Ultrabook, meron gaming laptop, meron mga yung 2-in-1 laptops. So, since maraming variety, mas malaki yung mga price range niya. Merong from cheaper, meron ding mas mahal. The other operating system is the Chrome OS or the Google OS. It is powered by Google. This is mostly ginagamit ng mga students because this is one of the budget laptop. Actually, you can buy a Google laptop for as low as mga 15,000, mga ganon. And ang maganda dito, lahat ng storage mo mapupunta na sa cloud or cloud storage. Mabilis mag-boot up if you're gonna go browse the internet, watch videos. Ito yung expertise niya. But the cons of this Google, syempre, it is cloud-based. Kailangan niya parati ng internet. And the last one is the Linux or the Ubuntu OS. Now, that is an advanced OS. However, hindi na natin i-discuss yun because yung mostly ginagamit natin ng mga hackers, okay? Now, let's talk about the screen size or resolution o yung mga screen features ng mga laptop. Kasi, iba-iba ang mga sizes ng laptop. Meron 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Of course, the weight varies. And meron din features ang every laptop. I have here 3 laptops on me right now. para lang pakita sa inyo yung mga features nito, pati yung mga screen size. Now, let's talk about, ito muna yung nasa harapan ko, which is the Bmax. This is an 11.6 and this is a 2-in-1 laptop. Ang ibig sabihin ng 2-in-1 laptop, it is either a detachable, natatanggal yung keyboard at nagiging tablet yung laptop, or it's a 360 flip. This one is a 360 flip. And lahat ng 2-in-1 laptops ay touchscreen. So like this is a touchscreen, and some laptops meron din mga may stylus pen na tinatawag. Okay. Now, the other laptop that we have here, or the most common laptop na alam natin, is the standard laptop, or they call it clamshell laptop. Bakit tinawag na clamshell? Diba ang clam? You can open it parang katulad ng standard laptop. I have a 14-inch laptop here and a 15.6 gaming laptop. Ang pinagkaiba nila, mostly ang mga 11.6-inch laptop is kasing laki ng literal na notebook. Yung notebook mismo, yung ginagamit kung saan tayo nagsusulat. Now, the next size of a laptop is the 13.3. Ito mga 13.3, this is mostly used sa mga Dell XPS, yung mga HP Envy, yung mga premium laptops. The next one is the standard laptop, which is the 14-inch. Kung ano yung nasa akin, hawak ko ngayon. This is a 14-inch laptop. Ito yung mga standard size na laptop, a 14-inch. And isa sa mga standard size is the 15-inch, which is the Dell. Here. And then, lastly, meron din tinatawag na 17.3-inch laptop. Ito yung mga parang desktop type na. Mas mabibigat sila compared sa mga 14 to 11, yung mga ganyan. Not to mention, there are some laptops na meron tinatawag na bezeled and non-bezeled. Ang non-bezeled is katulad this one. This is a non-bezeled screen kasi medyo malaki pa yung mga pagitan niya. Meron din tinatawag na bezeled screen. Ang bezeled screen, ito yung maliit na lang yung border niya sa laptop. Of course, if the laptop is bezeled, more chances na mas mahal ito. And we also have the IPS display. There are two types, merong non-IPS at merong IPS. Ano pinagkaiba nitong dalawang ito? Ang IPS, kahit sang angulo mo siya tignan, it will provide you a true color. Not like a regular laptop na pag tinignan mo siya in different angle, magbabago yung color niya. That's why photo editors or video editors prefer an IPS screen display. Katulad ni na Mac or yung Apple, meron din silang tinatawag na retina display. It actually provides more color accuracy. Kaya yung mga photo editors or mga video editors, mas preferred nila gumamit ng mga Mac. Let's talk about the resolution. Ang standard resolution ng laptop is 1366 by 768, which is the HD resolution. But now, nagiging common na rin yung tinatawag na Full HD. Full HD is 1920 by 1080. And, of course, meron 2K and then nandyan lumabas na rin yung 4K resolution. Ang 4K resolution is 13840 by 2160. Yung 4K resolution na yan, makikita mo na dati yan sa TV. Ngayon, mga nasa computers na. If you watch YouTube, di ba? Meron dyan 1080p, which is the Full HD, and meron din 2K and 4K resolution. Of course, the higher the resolution, mas maganda. Parang less pixelated. Other thing that you need to consider is the refresh rate of your screen. Mas lalo sa mga gamers. Normally, ang refresh rate ng mga laptops is 60 Hz. But if you are a gamer like a first-person shooting, katulad you play a lot of Call of Duty or Apex, ano pa ba, mga PUBG, of course, you will consider the refresh rate. The higher the refresh rate, the better. But, ganun din, the higher the refresh rate is may tendency mas mahal ang laptop. Now, let's talk about the processors of the laptops. Iba't iba ang mga processor ng laptop. May tinatawag tayong Intel, pati AMD. Under the Intel, na tinatawag na Atom, Celeron, i3, i5, i7, and now may lumabas na i9 sa laptop. And now for the AMD, meron tayong tinatawag na AMD A3, A6, A9, A12, but that was their old generation. Meron na silang mga bagong generation which are the Ryzen series, which is R3, R5, R7, and R9. The higher the number, the higher the processor. Meaning to say, mas mataas ang i7 kay i3. Ganon din kay Ryzen. Mas mataas ang R7 sa R3. But then again, the higher the processor, mas expensive siya. And the higher the processor, mas mataas ang nakokonsumong battery. Halimbawa, sa kotse, pag mas mataas ang horsepower ng kotse mo, tendency mas mahal yan. And kung mas mataas ang power ng kotse mo or higher horsepower, mas mabilis yan, and yet, mas mabilis din mag-consume ng gas. Vice versa, if your laptop is an Atom or a Celeron, definitely mas matagal ang battery life niyan. But of course, expect a lower processor. Now, what are the processors recommended for you? Ito ang lagi ang tinatanong sa amin. What is the recommended laptop for me? O what is the recommended processor para sa amin? May mga customer na nagtatanong na gagamitin ko lang to from online teaching, from online class. Mayroon iba sa amin nagtatanong ng gagamitin ko for AutoCAD or sa Lumion, ganyan. Let's start with the students. If you are grade 1 or grade 6, I would suggest you using a Chromebook. Kung hindi mo naman feel ang Chromebook, kasi ang Chromebook kasi medyo mura pala. Ito yung cheapest sa market as I mentioned earlier. But if you don't feel using a Chromebook and you want to use Windows, then go for a Celeron. Okay? If you have the budget, you can go to an i3 or a Ryzen 3. This is ideal for online learning. If you're just gonna do a Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or spreadsheet, Google Docs, ayan. Internet browsing and research, Celeron and i3 would do. Of course, yung mga ganung processor, mas mahaba ang mga battery life. Now, let's talk about medyo advanced na, mga grade 7 to grade 12. I would recommend you using an i3, Ryzen 3, or if you have the budget, go for an i5 or Ryzen 5. Bakit mas tumaas ang processor? Kasi itong mga grade school na to, meron na silang other applications na kailangan. If you are grade 7 to grade 12, I recommend you using an i3 or a Ryzen 3. If you have the budget, go for i5 or Ryzen 5. For online teaching and internet browsing, kasi dito may mga konting Photoshop pati video editing. That's why medyo kailangan mataas ang processor ng onte. And there are some applications na binibigay ang school. But it would be best to follow the recommended settings or the recommended specs ng iyong school. Pag sinabi sa iyo ng school nyo na kailangan nyo mag i7, kailangan mag i7. But kung wala naman sinabing ganon, you could follow those processors that I mentioned. If you are in the tight budget and if you think simple applications will do, you can downgrade to Celeron naman. But ensure that your Celeron is running an SSD. We'll talk about the SSD later, okay? If you are a college level, I would recommend you using an i5, Ryzen 5, or kung may budget ka, go to an i7 or R7, yung Ryzen 7. Especially kung you're doing an architectural or engineering course, you should have a dedicated graphics din. Katulad ng mga AutoCAD, mga Adobe softwares, at least meron kang higher processor or meron kang dedicated video card. We'll talk about the dedicated video card later. About the Lumion, you will need like more than 4 gig of dedicated. Sa Cinema 4D, ganun din. Unreal Engine, 8 gig or more. But then again, hindi naman lahat ng course is kailangan ng AutoCAD or 3D rendering. Iba for basic applications lang. If you're in a tight budget, you can downgrade to i3 or Ryzen 3. Tapos na tayo about sa students. How about the people who are working from home? Mas lalo itong pandemic na to, ang dami na nag-work from home. Okay. Most companies, they provide the recommended settings that you need for work. May mga company na you should follow. Pag sinabi nilang you should use an i5 or you should use a Ryzen 7, then you should do that. Okay? But merong mga companies na hindi naman sinasabi kung ano ang kailangan recommended settings. You could follow these tips or this recommendation. If this is for documentation, encoding, or online teaching, or yung mga basic online selling, you could go to an i3 or Ryzen 3. If you have the budget, you could go to an i5 or Ryzen 5. Or kung medyo tight budget ka, a Celeron plus an SSD will do, okay? If you're working from home like a call center, advanced online selling, yung talagang ikaw na mismo gumagawa ng mga page mo sa Facebook, ng mga marketing, ganyan, and then you do some videos or photo editing, go for an i5 or Ryzen 5. Mas lalo if you're doing a 3D rendering, you should have a decent like a 2 gig video card. If your work requires a Lumion or an AutoCAD, mga high workload, I will suggest you to go for an i7 or Ryzen 7, which have 2 gig dedicated video card or more. Pwede ka gumamit dito ng mga gaming laptops. We'll talk about the gaming laptops later. For creative games like advanced animation, magawa ka ng 3D or 4D. If you have like a server sa bahay nyo, dyan napapasok ang i9 or yung Ryzen 9. And we're not not gonna discuss about that because that is more pricey na. Now, let's talk about the integrated and dedicated graphics. Now, let's talk about the integrated and dedicated graphics. As I mentioned, ang processor, merong AMD at merong Intel. Ganun din sa video card. Meron din AMD, pati Intel. We're not gonna deep dive about those RTX 2060, 3060 because this video is for the first time users. But you can check my other page. May kita mo yung mga ibang videos ko doon. Nagbablog ako ng mga gaming laptops, pati mga entry-level laptops. Going back. Integrated video card is based on processor. Basically, wala siyang kasamang video card. It's just integrated. Not like a dedicated video card, it is separate from the processor. Kasi kung may dedicated video card ka, dalawa yung chip na nasa loob, which is the processor and dedicated video card. However, pag wala siyang dedicated, isang chip lang nandun, which is the processor. And this is also, okay din naman to, itong integrated. If you're not doing too much 3D rendering or animation, actually nakakapag-games nga rin pag sa integrated video card. But if it is better na meron kang dedicated video card. However, pag may dedicated video card, mas mahal ang laptop. Gaming laptops. Before you install a game, it will provide you the minimum and recommended specs. For example, mag-install ka ng GTA 5. Ang GTA 5, meron niyang bago mo i-accept, bago mo bilhin, sasabihin sa iyo yung recommended and yung minimum specs. If you pass those tests, it's fine, you can install it. But if your laptop or computer is below the minimum, expect na mabagal talaga yung larong yun pag niran mo. However, napansin mo, mas mataas pa to sa recommended. Now, that's the time that you can max out the settings. Talagang mas maganda maano nito, mabibigay sa iyo. We also have this yung mga AAA games, Call of Duty, Halo, GTA, as I mentioned. Those requires a higher video card, like 2 or 4 gig dedicated. Ano mga 4 gig dedicated na to? Ito yung mga nasa GTX 1650. If you want a 6 gig dedicated, go for RTX 2060, magkakasunod na yan, RTX 2060, 2080, so and so forth. Now, let's talk about the memory of the laptop. Now, let's move on about the memories. The higher the memory of the laptop, the better. But in my case, ang laptop ko is 32 gig ang memory niya. Hindi ko nagagamit lahat yung memory niya. So, sometimes you need to be wise on the memory kung ilan yung kailangan nyo o yung recommended lang. As standard memory ng laptop is 4 gig. Now, okay lang ba yun? Yes, it is okay. Okay lang yung may 4 gig ang memory ng laptop nyo. But ang ideal talaga, ang recommended is 8 gig. Because the higher the memory, mas marami kang applications na open sa computer mo. Let's say na 4 gig lang yung memory ng laptop mo and nag-open ka ng tambak na applications, ang tendency maglalag o babagal ang laptop mo. Kung gusto mo bumilis yan at gusto mo makasabay siya sa mga applications na naka-open at the same time, tataasan mo yung memory mo or babawasan mo yung applications na naka-open sa computer mo. For gamers, actually upgrade, the word upgrade, ibig sabihin pwede mo kasing palitan or dagdagan yung memory ng laptop. Ito pala yung isa sa mga pwede nyong gawin sa laptop. You can upgrade the memory of the laptop. If you're having a 4 gig and nababagalan ka, you can upgrade it to 8 gig, to 16 gig, or to 32 gig. Now, let's talk about the gamers again. Ang gamers, mostly mga 16 gig or up to 32 gig ang mga memories nila. Because katulad ng mention ko about sa Lumion, pati sa mga Adobe Photoshop, dapat mas mataas yung memory na kailangan nyo. Don't worry kung 4 gig lang ang memory ng laptop nyo because pwede naman i-upgrade yan. Mostly mga i3 and above, may extra slot for memory. Let's talk about the storage of the laptop. Now, let's talk about storage. Meron tinatawag na SSD and HDD. Dati, ang mga laptops, HDD lang ang meron. Now, this technology right now, may mga laptops na naka-SSD na. At ang iba, dual storage. May SSD plus HDD. Ano ba pinagkaiba nitong dalawang ito? First of all, it's the speed. Ang SSD is actually 2 to 3 times faster than HDD. However, mostly mas malalaki ang storage ng HDD. Minsan 1 tera or 2 tera. Kasi ang 1 tera SSD, that is a little bit mahal na. Kaya mostly sa mga laptop, ang SSD lang nila is 256 or 512. Tapos may kasamang HDD. Ang purpose, bakit may HDD pa rin sa mga laptops? Para dun nyo itatabi yung storage ng mga files nyo, videos, photos, documents, ganun. But if you have like software or application, it's better to install it sa SSD rather than sa HDD para mas mabilis ang pagpaprocess or paglo-load up nito. Now, let's talk about the battery life. Siyempre, kaya bumibili ang tao ng laptop is portability. Pwede niyan dalhin kahit saan. Pwede niyan dalhin kahit hindi nakasaksak. Not like a desktop computer. Ang maganda naman dito sa mga laptops na mga Celeron, yung mga mabababa ang processor, mas mahaba ang battery life nila. And katulad ng Mac, mahaba rin ang battery life ng Mac. Hindi katulad sa mga gaming laptops. Sometimes ang gaming laptops only last like 2 to 3 hours. Of course, it also depends on the usage. Pag mas marami kang application na naka-open sa laptop mo, mas mabilis mag-drain. Just like sa mobile phone mo, once na naka-open yung mga applications mo, naka-open yung camera, naka-open yung Bluetooth, lahat ng mga yon, mas malakas mag-drain ng battery. It same goes with the laptop then. The other thing that you need to consider on buying a laptop is the features of the laptop. If this is a backlit keyboard, and yung body niya, if this is a metal or a plastic chassis, and aside from those, the ports of the unit. Mostly, ang mga 11.6 inches have lesser ports compared to a 15.6 laptop. And of course, the portability. That's why tinawag na laptop. Now, let's talk about the prices. Ito yung isa sa mga pinaka-importante sa laptop, yung price niya. Always check if the price is right dun sa bibilhin mo. Higher processor or higher specs and features means mas mahal. Vice versa, pag mas mababa ang processor and specs nito, mas mura. Just like a Chrome OS. Sinabi ko sa inyo, ang MacBook Pro and MacBook Air is actually good and ideal for photo editing and video editing, but you need to consider its price. So there you have it. I've told you as much as I know about what are the recommendations kung ano yung kailangan bilhin sa laptop. About the specifications, the screen size, and the operating system. Of course, kasama na rin din yung features niya. There might be a part 2 of this video that will be more on technicalities na. This video is for, then again, mga customers na first time pa lang bibili ng laptop. Okay? So if you got any questions on buying a laptop, feel free to message us here in Laptop Factory. May mga sales kami na mag-a-assist sa inyo. I might personally assist you pag nagkataon, okay? If you have any comments and suggestions, please type it below. And don't forget to like and subscribe our page para in case may mga new updates kami, may mga bagong vlogs kami, may mga bagong unboxing kami, manonotify kayo. Okay? Malayo kayo dito sa Metro Manila, we have branches nationwide. We have in Cebu, Davao, Baguio, Lucena, and Batangas. This time, mga panahon ng ECQ, we also do cash on delivery via our own riders or through LBC. Okay? You're just gonna pay the unit pag dumating na sa inyo mga units nyo. We also have installment, home credit or credit card, but you need to go to our store para ma-process yung installment na yun. Okay? Now, this is Dustin. Thank you for watching Laptop Factory and Circuit Base. Have a good day. Bye-bye.